Hey guys, it's Prayer coming to you with another Simcraft video. Simcraft for Minecraft. Today I'm going to talk about the distillery. I got a lot of questions, a lot of messages about the distillery, how to make it, how it works. So we're going to talk about that. This is the distillery right here, this device. What it's capable of doing is making coolant for your machines. It's distilled water that you can use for the fermenter in order to make yeast. It also makes alcohol. Let's just open up the inventory or the interface here. You load it up with some water. Put coal in here, and it's just going to make distilled water. You can have these check marks over here. The recipes are available in the wiki, and I'll make a link for it in the description for you. As far as what you can make, you know, here's some ingredients that you put into it. In order to be able to get out what you're trying to get out. Like I said, the ingredients, or the recipe book, if you will be listed in the description. What I'm currently making right now is coolant and coal gas. For the coal gas runs the T100 generator. The small generator runs off of coal gas more efficiently than just regular coal. You can load regular coal into the T100, but coal gas is the preferred method. Coolant is obviously something that your machines are going to require, just like antifreeze in your car. It also makes alcohol, ethanol, distilled water. So the ingredient right now for coolant is alcohol, ethanol, distilled water, sugarcane, yeast, and potatoes. That's why I have those things checkmarked. It creates coolant, and as a byproduct creates coal gas. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone right here. I'm making coal gas for my T100 generator, and I'm making coolant for my machines. And my machines right now are in place, and so right now I'm just selling the coolant in plastic bottles. So let's back up a little bit. Let's make a distillery. I want to make another one. So let's take a look at how to make a distillery. What we're going to be requiring, I've already got the ingredients for it. Right down here in the bottom, we're going to have an iron rod, 4 stainless steel sheets, and 3 copper rods. Kind of realistic if you think about how a distillery works. You know, you've got your tubes and stuff like that, plus you've got your pot, and then you've got your stands to get it above the coal and stuff. So we're going to open up just a regular iron workbench, which is covered in some of my other videos. We're not going to use the premium version of it. This is just a standard workbench. You can even use just the single side of the workbench. You don't even have to have the advanced part on there. So we're just going to open up a regular workbench. We're going to put in 3 copper tubes, 3 copper rods over here. We're going to make our case, the round case, out of the 4 stainless steel sheets. And then we're going to put some legs on it with the iron rods. And there's our distillery right there. Again, it's 3 copper rods for our tubing. We've got the main case, or the main body, out of 4 stainless steel sheets. And we put some legs on it with the iron rods. And we've got our distillery. So let's go place this down someplace. I've got just the location for it. I'm going to put it right over here in my fuel compartment. My fuel storage compartment. Let's see here. What have we got? We've got coolant there. We've got oil there. Coal gas over here. Let's just stick it right there. Kind of fits nice in between those 2 chests. Open it up, and if you notice, we don't have anything loaded in here. Alright, so we're going to need some water to start with. We're also going to need some sugar cane, yeast, and potatoes. So we're going to start doing the same exact thing that the other one's doing. We're going to make some coolant with a byproduct of coal gas. So let's go back over to this one, and we'll grab some buckets of water, and we'll grab some buckets of water. Let's get our buckets here. Got a nice little water spot right over here. What do we got there? 5 buckets. Let's go with 6 buckets of water. We're going to need some yeast, and we're going to need some potatoes, and we're going to need some sugar cane. Alright. So that's all really you need to get started making your coolant, and I'll show you why. Here's my grapes and sugar cane and potatoes and stuff. They're all being grown there in the greenhouse. I'm going to explain to you why we just need those three things, but you're like, wait a minute, Prairie, you had all this other stuff checkmarked. That's exactly right. Let's go ahead and load up our sugarcane. It goes in this one right here, the small barrel. That's going to be our ingredients. And if you notice as we put it in there, sometimes kind of hard to see, and this colors may change very soon. But our sugarcane has come up just below or just behind the end right there. Let's go ahead and put our potatoes in, and you can watch the potato line come up, and the potatoes are going. And let's put our yeast in there as well. And see, that one's easy to see. And it doesn't hold all the yeast, but the potatoes and the sugarcane, it took all 64 of those. Alright, so let's put our water in with it. So what we've done is we've loaded our potatoes, our sugarcane, and our yeast. Now we're loading our water. And as I put those in there, you notice the line goes up. The water's up there as well now. Okay, so we've got sugarcane, we've got yeast, we've got potatoes, we've got water. We're going to check mark that, and that. We know those are in there. The water and the coal is going to produce distilled water. Distilled water and sugarcane and yeast and potatoes is going to create ethanol. Water and ethanol and sugarcane create alcohol. And so basically it says, okay, so we're using this to make this and this. And so as long as you've got these 4 check marked and these 3 check marked, your output is going to be distilled water, ethanol, alcohol, coolant, and coal gas. That's all it takes to make the coolant for your machines and the coal gas for powering the T100. Again, there's other recipes that you can use to make other things. I've got hops, and you can get oats, and you have barley and wheat's in the game. Black and white grapes and soybeans are all in the game through Simcraft. Those are Simcraft vegetables. That's not vanilla stuff. So we've got all this loaded up. All we need to do now is add some coal. Let's grab some coal to power the thing. Let's heat this sucker up, and I'll show you how it starts to work. 32 of them. We're going to have this burn for a while. Alright, so we're back over here, and let's just take and put the coal in there. You'll start to see it fire up. And if you notice, the coal down there is burning. Here's our case. It's starting to smoke. And as those things burn down in there, then what it's going to do is it's going to output our products into this barrel right here. And so when you open it up, you'll start to see these things go down. The yeast, the potatoes, and the sugarcane will start to go down. Okay, those are recipes, or those are ingredients that are going to have to constantly be put back into the device as long as you're burning those things down to create these things. This number right down here, 240, that's your maintenance level. That's just like the maintenance level on any of the other machines in Simcraft. Okay? When that 240 hits 0, your machine goes boom and disappears, and you lose anything that you had in here. It doesn't fall out on the ground. It doesn't show up in a container anywhere. It's just gone. So as you notice, now it's down to 239. Okay? So as this stuff burns down, as these things are produced, this number starts dropping. So how do you keep that thing from blowing up? A mash hammer is the only thing that you can use on a distillery or on a fermenter in order to keep them from blowing up on you. Trust me, it does happen. I've lost 4 or 5 distilleries just because I load my stuff up in here and I may go out and farm or feed the cows or whatever, and I'm not paying attention, and this thing gets down to, 30 or 40, it turns red, and you're still not paying attention, but your chunk is loaded, so this is still cooking. Boom! You come back and everything's gone. So don't let that hit 0, because it is possible. While we were talking here, you can start to see a little bit of a blue line right there in the ethanol. The coal gas is starting to come up, or the coolant's starting to come up as well. And if you remember, the sugar cane, when we loaded it, it was up here behind the end, and then the yeast was already full. You can load more of this stuff in there anytime you want to. So if I had more potatoes or more sugar cane, we can keep loading that up. Eventually, all these things will be full, just like in my other one over here. Chest right there. just like on the other one over here. See if I can click it from here. Alright. These things are full. Alright. Still has 9 coal in there. These aren't being used anymore. Obviously, it's not cooking down anything because these lines are full. I can take that out and just let this stuff set in there. Now it's not going to do anything. It's just a holding tank, more or less, for these items. When I need more coal gas or when I need more coolant, I'll just come over here and get it and then throw some coal back in there and start the whole process again. If you notice, my distillery over here is down to 198. So let's take and see if I can hit that chest from here. We'll get our mash hammer. Select our mash hammer. Go back to the distillery. Hit that a couple of times. Now we're back up to the 240. So we don't have to worry about the maintenance anymore on that. It's just going to sit here. It's not cooking. We don't have any coal. There's no fire. This should not tick down any longer. Basically, this is just in a dormant state right now. Let's go back over here and check and see where we're at on this one. And as you notice, this one's down to 237. Again, we're losing all of our ingredients, but we're gaining some coal gas now. Our coolant's coming up. Alcohol and distilled water are still not raising. The reason for that is because we're using the distilled water. We're using the alcohol as fast as we're making it in order to make the coolant and have byproduct coal gas. So it's, you know, we're cooking this to make this, to make this, to make this, to make this. So it's kind of as long as we've got those 4 things checked. Once our coolant gets up around here, our coal gas starts to get up around here, it won't get used as much, and so you'll start to see distilled water come out. You'll start to see more ethanol alcohol start to raise in there, just like you did in the one that I just showed you that's been down for. The 236, again, just use your mash hammer, right-click on it a couple of times, and open it back up. We're back up to 240. So it's easy to keep it maintained, keep it from blowing up. It's super easy to use, guys. When you open it up, you look at it, and you're like, holy crap, what do I do with this thing? It's not that hard. Just check marks, like I said, for each item that you wanna make. I will put a link in the wiki, or a link in the description to the wiki, so you can see some different recipes. Not everything is in. The distillery has got a long way to go, but it does make the coolant and the coal gas, which is primarily what my focus is right now for the distillery. So I hope this helps understand the distillery just a little bit more. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like some more information. I do have some other videos out there about Simcraft for Minecraft. And as always, my catchphrase is, when you're tired of too much vanilla in your Minecraft, it's time for Simcraft, guys. Till next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.